Truth isn't trendy, it's eternal, positioning Israel doctrine as timeless and unshakable. I don't follow the crowd, I follow the covenant. Separates the movement from popular culture. The streets talk, I correct them. Asserts authority and credibility in debates. Israel doctrine, where facts cut deeper than feelings. Appeals to logic over emotion. If it's not scripture, it's just opinion. Keeps focus on the Bible as the foundation. I'm not here to be liked, I'm here to be right. Bold, confident tone that builds respect. This isn't religion, this is restoration. Shifts the brand from dogma to revival of truth.
Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to the podcast. And today's show is the Armin Rosquad don't have biblical scholarship. Here's the evidence nobody can refute.
Visit progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to the Huddle with Noon. I know it's past noon, but this is still the Huddle with Noon with Israel Doctrine. I'm your host, Carl Albert, and you have now entered into the Huddle. And today, we're dealing with a topic that popped up on Facebook. It's been going on for a minute, but I actually joined this group today and got kicked out of this group today. Now, the group is the Armin Ra Scholarship Group. They also on Blog Talk here, and the radio show is produced by Brother Unk, and it's basically the Armin Ra Squad Blog Talk. You can find it at blogtalk.com, Brother Unk, or whatever, however you spell that. But if you type in Blog Talk Radio and Armin Ra Squad, you probably will find it. Anyway, so they got a group, the Armin Ra Squad Scholarship Group. I joined that group today. The brother that let me in, I'm not going to say his name, but it wasn't the real black atheist, Brother Unk himself. He didn't let me in. He is administrator of the group, though. The brother let me in. I spoke to Brother Unk, told him, basically, I'm up in this mother. I'm ready to have some good conversation. Introduce myself, not with no sleight of hand or not with no sheep clothing on. You know what I'm saying? Being a wolf amongst sheep. No, I didn't do that. I just basically announced myself, let them know I was in this mother, and to a degree, look to turn that mother out. Right? But it's all friendly debate, friendly conversation. We all looking for people to bring to the table to make a show, to have dialogue, to let our listeners, our friends, our followers on Skype or whatever, Twitter or whatever, let them know what we talking about, who we dealing with and stuff. So now, when I went into this group, like I said, he had a show last night. I went to sleep. He had it at 10:30. He said probably was 9:30 my time, seeing there in Atlanta. I couldn't make the show. Would love to make the show and have a conversation live. That's why I made this blog talk and the one that I do at 4:00. So I made them blog talks to talk to people instead of typing to people, which is dead PC screen or computer screen, right? But to actually put some live breath to life over the airways as we doing now, right? But let me show you what the problem is, right? This is last night's show. He was talking to a brother, and the brother was basically saying we equal. We equal due to the fact that we all Negroes in America. The common trait that we all carry. We Negroes in America, right? Whether you want to call yourself African, Hebrew, Kemetic, Muslim, or this, that, we all Negroes in America if we all have the same common enemy, the white imperialistic white Gentile male ruling over us, right? The Bushes, the Cheneys, the the Reagans, the Kennedys, all the major figures and families in America and stuff, right? So we got major people coming at us, Negroes in America, right? So we got to coming in. Listen to the audio clip, then we'll talk after the audio clip. This is from his show last night, which is entitled Fooliship or Scholarship. So today's show was addressing that, and this is how my conversation started off with the brother in the group. He will remain nameless at this point, but that's why the title of this show came about. The Armin Rosquad squad don't have biblical scholarship; they have biblical fooliship. Y'all know words don't come off my tongue that good, especially when I got a point to make. But anyway, let's listen.
On our evolution, we equal. But he ain't no better than me. I ain't no better than him. We have to come together on that level instead of
How?
the other day. A good case study would be for you to start up an account on Facebook, right?
Make a name.
To
See, I go by
promote
the
baby brand.
right? Get into one.
The Hebrew group and watch how they do it.
Now,
No.
go in there, okay, shit. Go in there, trying to do something, right?
They kick me out of groups. I don't say shit. They beat me. It's crazy because of my name. Huh?
This is what I'm
Tell it.
If I go with Kemetic,
They hit the same shit. Now, my group, you come in there, it's wrong again on that bullshit and fitting back. You add to discourse, you decide wrong, and we can talk about it. I'm not beating you out the group.
I don't think I'm better
The Hebrew, but
Not at all. Right. I realize
we
the flesh are the same damn thing. If you lucky, your ass might have
The-
been a Palestinian.
if you learn in your mind, I know better, but I think everybody has the freedom to choose what they want. But I just want to know why do you choose?
Right? So, as you see, he was in a Hebrew group. Matter of fact, he was in the Hebrew Israelite Kingdom group. I'm in that group. I tried to advocate for that brother not to get kicked out of the group. I tried to let him know that yes, it was a divide and conquer strategy to ask questions, this and that, knowing some believe in New Testament, some believe in Old, some don't, some deal with both, this, that, and the other. So amongst Israelites that don't believe the same thing, you could ask certain questions and you could get an argument or a debate going between just them. So yes, he's an agitator to situations, but yet and still he going to cause dialogue and to see the reaction of the people and how they treat people, right? And so I put it on my Facebook group and my homepage yesterday. Have you ever tried to save an atheist? Seeing that they need saving too, right? And God didn't come to heal the sick. I mean the well, those that's well, but those that's sick, right? So, I'm asking my Israelite brothers and sisters this question. Cause I asked the same thing in the group because they was gonna kick the brother out, and all he was doing is honestly asking questions. As he said, don't go in there try to kick up dust. But seeing that he have real black atheists up there, they say you don't believe in God anyway. So that's an initial fight right there for most people, which may be right, may be wrong. Me myself, I'm not gonna fight you just because of your name. I rarely read people's names anyway. I'm gonna fight you in your character, in your spirit. Right. So me and the brother, we didn't communicated plenty of times. I didn't call him on his phone. He didn't call into the show. I hit him up on Facebook. I tried to talk to the brother. Because one thing about it is I'm not scared of dialogue. Most people are scared of dialogue, especially when it's dialogue of stuff that they don't know about. And if I don't know about it, I'm only gonna speak so full or so long on it before I tell you I don't know and I have to get back to you. That's being an honest Negro. See, I gotta call myself African. I ain't even gotta call myself Israelite now. We have been classified in America as Negroes, right? So I'm gonna use that term. Or when you go fill out your application, you put black. I'm gonna use that term. You know what I'm saying? Then we can get on the same ground. As he said, we know we got the same enemies. But this is what the enemies of the Israelites is doing. That's a strategy, people. They telling people to go and check you out, to get in your groups, try to talk to you and see what it is that you display. Love for your neighbor, as Jesus said, or if you don't believe in Jesus, you just go to the Old Testament law in Leviticus and it said, love thy neighbor as thyself. So that's a law, that's a statute, that's a commandment that you say come from your God. And if you're not doing it, the people are watching. And why would they follow your God if you're not even following your God's laws, statutes, and commandments? So the brother is correct in his case study and how to do it, right? And most people ignorant of it because they're not listening to the brother or listening to the tactics that people trying to take, which is cool. I am listening, you know what I'm saying? And I'm wanting my people, you know what I'm saying, if they choose to listen. But he said we don't kick people out of groups, right? Now I'm telling you, I went to the Armin Rosquad scholarship group. He is an administrator of that group. He did not kick me out of that group, but the other administrator, he's the one that let me in, and he is the one that kicked me out. Due to the fact that, as last night's show was dealing with foolishship and scholarship, right? I questioned the brother on his scholarship, which I appreciate them bringing that type of conversation out. How many people are talking scholarship or foolishship? So I asked the brother, who will remain nameless, right? I asked him. He said, "Welcome to the forum, family." I said, "Thanks for letting me in." I really looked, basically, I really looked to get into some real conversation on him. And people know I have type. That's why I don't like typing and writing. Then I come back, question, what is scholarship? If you could, please, I'm asking. I'm not, same thing. I'm checking out the attitude of his squad, even his fellow administrator of his group. See, if we're going to put each other on blast and we not going to be hypocritical, then this is a hypocrite move, right? Check it out. I said, if you could, please, and in what area do you believe we should have it in? What area should we have scholarship in? So we talking about scholarship. Then I'm going to get particular with the brother. He said scholarship means to study. In the academic arena, it means to dedicate or study aspects which can be let me see, what's that? Contribute whatever to cultural philosophy or people, whatever, right? So I said, what about biblical scholarship, basically? Then he said, I study the Bible. Then he asked me what was scholarship. I said, never really tried to classify it. I would say, being a scholar in a particular area or in an area, you know what I'm saying? So then, if I would do anybody dealing with biblical scholarship, saying the title of my company and term that I came up with, Israel Doctrine, which I define it just like my man Unc defined what is a real black atheist. You know what I'm saying? I said, would you agree that the Bible is Israel Doctrine? Based up on your scholarship. Now, this is the way the conversation started, people. This is the way the conversation should go, right? The brother ended up talking about dinosaurs. Due to one of my typing errors, I typed in date instead of data. Because he said analyze the data, this and that. I'm trying to find it in the thing. But, people know from yesterday my eyes been messing up looking at this computer screen too much. But anyway, he said analyze the data. And I said, what data? But it ended up date. And from what data? Which that was data, right? But he said the word data. He seen me bounce off the word. He went with date, and then he tried to say the Bible basically deals with a 6,000 year time period, right? That's a lie. The Bible deals with eternal time, in the beginning and the end. When is the beginning? You can't not calculate it. When it's the end, you cannot calculate it. That's eternity, because it's dealing with God time and man time. You don't get man time until you get to Genesis 1 and 14, and he give you the sun, moon, and the stars. Before then, what time was the world operating on? Then, as I told him, the earth, from a biblical literary aspect, was in water. How long was it in the water before he separated the waters from the waters and called the earth up out of the waters? I deal with creation in my shows and in my biblical lessons. So I don't have no problem dealing with creation from a biblical scholarly point. He asked me, was dinosaurs real? And as I told him, I never tried to say they was or wasn't. I have no problem with a dinosaur. It's not going to help the Negro in America know that dinosaurs exist or didn't exist. But if you want to make the point that the dinosaurs existed, you know what I'm saying, and they so many years old, once again, I will only deal with that in the sense to say, well, was the dinosaurs in the creation that we read about in the Bible, or were they before that creation and they was in the ground, in the earth, as it was under the water before he caused this creation to come about and separated the waters from the waters to come up with the earth. See, that's speaking from scholarship, biblical scholarship, as well as common sense, right? So I have no problem dealing with anybody from this point of view, biblical scholarship, scholar in my area, right? And in my era, I'm a scholar. I dealt with this Bible exclusively long enough to damn near know the ins and outs of it. And anything I don't know, all it takes is some reading, because my common knowledge of the fundamentals is good. So this is the same thing when I talked about Dr. Clark for Dr. John Clark, and Dr. Yosef bin Yakanan, however you say his name, which are, Egyptologists, because these people deal from the African or the Kemetic Egypt or universal Africa, you know what I'm saying? I question their biblical scholarship, a biblical fooliship. I did a show on that. Brothers called in, and all I did was ask the question, because I don't think people know the Bible. They want to talk against the Bible, and they want to use quotes from other people that's quoting the Bible, but they don't know nothing about the Bible. So you can't deal with Bible scholarship with biblical fooliship. And a fool is a very dangerous thing, because they willing to go to the depths of foolery. That's how we ended up on dinosaurs. How do we end up on dinosaurs when we talking about biblical scholarship? Are dinosaurs even mentioned in the Bible? Then how, if you start off in a conversation about scholarship and then get to a particular scholarship with its biblical scholarship, do you end up in dinosaur land? That's like asking me if the Transformers exist. If, you know what I'm saying? This is what they do about God. Like, God, you can't prove to me that God exists. Now you want to go to dinosaurs, and just because somebody got some big bones, this and that, and they tell you it's carbon dated back to this time, now you're supposed to believe that it was dinosaurs, this, that, and the other, and you got to do a whole life study on this dinosaur to even see if what they telling you is true or not. Did man go to the moon? Come on, we watching Awakening and all these different stuff where they show you the moon every day and people up on the moon. These actors and stuff, do you think they on the moon? Do you think they just came up with this technology? So they may have went to the moon and they may not have went to the moon. I'm not trying to go check and see if they went to the moon, and I'm not trying to go on a ride for them to prove me that we could go to the moon. You see what I'm saying? What good is that gonna help the Negro in America who's on a dire straits? and the world is crushing in on them every day. I just seen a article today where you had prize from the Fugees. This man molested 3 of his daughters, had 6 babies by him. Wife knew about it. Oldest daughter had to, you know what I'm saying, from the reports that I was looking at and reading and hearing, you know what I'm saying? This is what's going on in the black community. People trying to justify polygamy, molestation of young girls, this, that, all these doctrines like that. Things like that, which people are believing because they believing in a certain type of God or a certain type of deity or a certain type of spirituality that tells them that they can sleep with young girls and this, that, and everything else. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate being in the group because I had a chance to talk to Lord Abel about what him and Nazi was saying on another show that night when they was talking about marrying young girls, but a married teenage. You know what I'm saying? Talk to that brother. I could have tried to add him or whatever. But I'm out here for dialogue, people. Scholarship, not foolishship. You know what I'm saying? How could you call out foolishship and then you participate in foolishship? That's being a hypocrite. How can you call people out for doing a case study and going in their groups and seeing them act a fool with you and throw you out, and I come to your group and your man throw me out because I don't want to talk about dinosaurs, and then put up videos about Jab Judah talking about second round knockouts, this, that, and everything else. That said that man was waiting to get into some foolish shit. He knew the video he wanted. He went on Google. He went Googled it or went to YouTube, got the video and came back talking about, you know what I'm saying? I knock you out. That's foolish shit. How you knock me out by talking dinosaurs when we talking biblical scholarship? You trying to change the subject because you fear biblical scholarship because you only got biblical foolery shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not finna jest with that. I'm not finna play the games. I am not a jester. I'm not finna go and dance and act a fool with nobody like that. But, you know, I'm not beyond that. I may do it sometime. But I would choose to. So, Unc, you need to get the squad better, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got your Lord Banks and your Tony Yayos and your Young Bucks and games and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Somebody ain't doing right in the squad. Somebody probably trying to be game, you know what I'm saying? And think they, you know, higher than you or whatever. I don't know. That's your squad. Squad up. Armin Rosquad up, you know? That's what y'all should have did, or that's what the brother should have did. Waited till the squad got together, and then y'all bomb rushed me as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Saying that he felt naked being alone. You know what I'm saying? Me and you talked, we was alone. Everything was cool. You ain't deleted me off your page, this, that, and the other. You was on my show. We ain't cussed nobody out. We ain't deleted nobody, none of that. But then I talked to one of the young soldiers or whoever this brother is. And you know what I'm saying? He breaking rank. He kicking people out the group and stuff because he don't want to deal with biblical scholarship. So get the squad right, man. Tell them to tighten up and stuff, man. You know, I know y'all probably studied up and y'all ready for Nasi or however you say his name, but you know, y'all ain't ready to deal with Israel doctrine. And when y'all are, just, you know, hit me up on the doctrine line. You know what I'm saying? You got my personal number, you got my face, you know what I'm saying? My Skype is Israel period doctrine. You know, I ain't hard to find, I ain't hard to get at, you know. I do my show every day at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Call me. Let me know. Set a date. You know what I'm saying? And we can see who got foolishship when it comes to biblical matters. And then if y'all just want to deal with natural matters and just basic, you know, information that the common man should know, then I'm down for that too. Because at the end of the day, common knowledge is good knowledge. Like I told you, all I got to do is change the frequency on the dial so I can speak in your language to interpret for you the things that need to be interpreted. Seeing I'm not just in the fooliship. I like scholarship. It make everybody raise their level. Make everybody go in the books, break open their books, get deeper into their studies. So as my man Player Fox say in the South, over there in Memphis, love to hate me, motivate me. So you can hate all you want, but tell me what you mad for. You know what I'm saying? And brother, don't go in groups after you kick people out and then talk like you He-Man and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got the power of Grayskull or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, man. So that's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna get into no foolish shit. I'm get to calling people names and doing that. But you know what it is, man. Get the squad right, man. Tell them to tighten up, bro. Tighten up. Tell them to tighten up, man. That's all you gotta do, man. They ain't gotta be scared. I'm just little old me, you know, with a literary book. You know, we could call it mythology if you want to, but you know, you bring your mythology, I bring my mythology. We gonna see who mythology is the best. However you want to do it, man. However y'all want to talk about this, man. I am capable. Anybody out there, you know, you got SETI, my man blocked me because I sent him the Dr. Beard and the Dr. Clark um blog talk I was doing just to let him know, just in case if he wanted to come on there and defend the brothers and get in my my anus for even mentioning their name or whatever. See, it ain't like nobody running. It ain't like nobody dodging. Not on this side. When we just talking scholarship or we just talking what we know, ain't nobody over here running. I don't run. I've been telling Israelites that forever. You know what I'm saying? And now I gotta be afraid of my own kind. You know what I'm saying? Israelites, Moors, or whatever, when I ain't scared of the white man. You know what I'm saying? Take y'all to some old school music. You know what I'm saying? You headed for self-destruction and we all in the same game. Stop the violence. Stop talking violent. Stop acting like you want to get violent and stuff over small, petty things as scholarship. Just be more scholarly. Pull out more books. Pull out more information. Be more sounder in what you're talking about. And put the foolishship to the side. That's what y'all called out. Don't be a hypocrite and say, leave the foolishship alone, and then you go and act a fool and get foolish. That's a hypocrite. And that ain't nothing but a cause for strife. Strife. Just because some Hebrew Israelites in New York start talking about Africans and calling them dirty, nasty, stinking and stuff, don't mean all Hebrew Israelites or this Israelite believe that. So don't take the animosity that you have for another brother out on me, and vice versa. My people or the Israelites or the Hebrew Israelites shouldn't do the same. You know, and we all brothers and sisters, even the white man, all of us, because we all come from Adam and Eve. That's from the biblical perspective. If not, we all came from the same Adam that created mankind itself. However you want to go about it, we all come from the same starting point, and we all got the same ending point, the ground. So stop being ignorant, people. Stop hating any man. It's either righteous men or unrighteous men. Keep that in mind and you'll be cool. I only have 30 minutes in this show. Y'all can join me at the 4 o'clock hour on the Huddle 2. That's blogtalkradio.com/the Huddle 2. And I don't know what my topic gonna be at 4 o'clock, but I'm gonna put some script now and deal with something. I'm trying to bounce off of my part 2 that I did yesterday about the Hamitic Bible and the Japhetic Babylon. So with that said, I'm gonna let y'all hear the man himself, and I'm gone.
Yeah.